So guys, welcome to episode 6 of the 100k challenge account series. Now, I'm just going to take my first trade of 2024, some shorts on pound Aussie, which of course I'll give you guys the full breakdown of what I'm looking at, stop loss, entry, take profit, how I'm looking to manage the position. But firstly, let's go through the back end of the account just to make sure of where the account is. So I haven't touched the account since the last episode, episode 5. If you haven't checked it out, feel free to go do so. But I haven't taken a trade since that video was uploaded, which was maybe a week before Christmas, something like that. So the account balance is still the same, $100,332, still up 0.33% in profit, which is still pretty much break even. But of course, I'm still risking $500 per trade until I get that 2% buffer. Then I'll look to increase to 1% per trade. But in a slight bit of profit, of course, we had a few losses in a row towards the end of the year. So as you can see, a bunch of losses there as well. We had one in EURAUD just before I posted episode 5. But overall, we had two big wins, or not really big wins, but just two decent wins, which kind of keep the account ticking over, which is the importance of risk reward. Win rate a little bit overhyped. Risk reward is kind of the real banker, but yeah, so far still up 0.33% on the account. Still looking to really get things going. But I've just hopped into my first position of the new year, some shorts and pound Aussie. As you can see, this is the MT5, so this is pound Aussie in the 4H time frame. This is the entry over here. It was based on the hourly time frame. Nice bearish engulfing. I was a little bit late to the party. I did get in a few pips below the entry candle as it closed. I was a little bit late to taking the trade, but pretty much still in the same vicinity I was looking to short from anyways. Stop loss a few pips, well, quite a few pips above the high. There's a slight reason why I have a slightly wider stop loss for it, but I'm looking for a big move to the downside for this one. I'm looking to try and stretch my trades a little bit more this year. This is kind of my New Year's resolution of trading, if you will. Looking to make sure I'm making my trades work as hard as I can for me. Not necessarily to try and hit big wins just to be flashy, but looking through my data, I can see that I do leave money on the table, and I don't need to necessarily take more trades or do anything fancy. All I need to do is just make sure I'm taking the most I can out of trades, and I'm looking to push trades further this year. So I'm looking at this pound Aussie position. I do have some targets which we'll go over now. So this is the trading view. This is trading view, where again I do all my analysis on my trades. And this is the move I'm looking for. Big swing. Again, I get this narrative from the higher time frames. It's not like I'm just pushing the trade out there and just saying where I think price might go. Based on the higher time frames, weekly, monthly, even quarterly time frames we've had. Let me move this out of the way. We've had a pretty big substantial move into some big levels of resistance here on the left. Let's make sure we can see that. And we've had a pretty big fake out of that. So I'm expecting to see price kind of use that big fake out, that liquidity gain above the high for a move back down. And we could go pretty far, but I'm looking for us to come back into these areas here. You can see it was prior resistance before this big breakout. Now I'm looking for us to come back and retest this around the 1.83, 1.82 area. This level here, so I can see price continuing a lot further to the downside. So I'm looking to try and swing this trade as much as I can. Of course, I will be looking to trail stops, and I have to be aware as well when I'm looking for the bigger risk rewards. I can't really push the trade too far, especially with the challenge accounts, because I do have that 5% drawdown, which at the moment wouldn't really be a problem because I'm only risking 0.5% per trade. So if for me to go 5% drawdown, that means I have to go 10R in drawdown, which probably I won't do. I'm sure I won't be in that situation, but when I start risking 1% per trade, I have to be a bit more aware of that. But essentially, we're in a really strong area of value in the higher time frames. We've had a big kind of fake out to the upside. I'm looking for us to start to finish this bullish trend and start to now bleed bearish and continue this bearish trend. Now we pull back into a really nice area of value. I'm looking for a lower high to form in these areas. We'll come back to retest some really nice prior support. As you can see, held the consolidation, price breakthrough with some nice momentum, and now we've come back to retest that area. I'm looking for more shorts. So that's the plan behind the trade. I'm not afraid to re-enter this position because I'm trying to capture a big swing move here. So the probability of me catching the high is actually quite slim. So I may have to get into the trade 2 or 3 times before I take advantage of the swing. And of course, my buys could be wrong as well. But if I do have to get back in for a re-entry, if I was worked out, so be it as well. I'm risking small, so it doesn't really matter. But that's the plan behind the trades. I will be looking to trail stops loosely. I will still go break even after 1R, and then potentially re-enter if that's the case. On my personal account, I'm a bit more relaxed, so I won't be going break even after 1R, but that's still the rules that I have in place for the challenge account to kind of minimize the losses on the account. So I will go to break even after 1R, and then I'll be trading my stop loss pretty loosely, hoping that price can pick up momentum in my direction, and potentially looking to add positions along the way as well. I'll be focusing on that as well this year. So that's the plan behind the trade. I got into a nice bearish engulfing candle after this big move to the upside. Stop loss a little bit loosely just because it's a bigger swing as well. I want to give a bit more buffer room to the trade. And yeah, we shall see how things develop, but this is the analysis behind the trade, what I'm looking for, and of course I'll keep you updated along the way and other things I'm looking at if they do take shape. But yeah, let's see how this materializes. Okay guys, so welcome back. So an update on the pound Aussie short position. I was taken out for a loss. I was slipped a little bit. We had CPI at the time and price did take me out for a loss. CPI went against me, but I had some shorts in pound Aussie, roughly stopped out for $570, so a little bit more than I would have wanted. But again, if you're going to swing, you're going to open yourself up to the opportunity of trading news. You know, getting slipped is of course going to be an occurrence, and sometimes slippage can go in your favor. My last, well, not the last trade, but EURJPY shorts I had in December, I was actually slipped a little bit in my favor. So you know, it goes both ways sometimes. But it was taken out off the back of CPI. As you can see, this was the big move to the upside. My stop loss was above here. This was the entry. Price was dancing around for a few days. Didn't really go anywhere. In profit, out profit, in profit, out profit. But as you can see, we have pushed high. I'm still pretty bearish on the pair, but the new account balance of that loss is $99,721, down 0.28% in the account. So I haven't really gone anywhere since the start of the challenge. We've taken quite a few losers, one off the back of a losing streak towards the end of the year. We had a few winners dotted here and there, and really it's the risk reward of the winners that has kept their account at break even. So it shows you the importance of risk to reward. And of course, win rate is a good thing, but at the end of the day, if your winners are taking home a lot more than your losers, when you do lose, it can really help out your overall profitability. And you just need a few winners to really get not price, but your account going to your targets. But as we can see, we're down 0.28% on the account. This of course is the trade history down there. As we can see, this is the recent trade we've taken, pound Aussie. That's the only trade I've taken of the year so far. Haven't really seen as much opportunities as I've wanted. I'm still looking to short pound Aussie. This is the trade, as we can see. That was the entry, stop loss, and the targets down there. That was me getting taken out of the position. Still looking at a similar move to the downside, the same move pretty much, but price is having a deeper retracement than expected. And again, I could be wrong. If price does go and take up the highs here, I will hold my hands up and take a back seat, but still looking for a move to the downside here for pound Aussie. It might just mean that we have a slightly deeper retracement than expected, and then I hop into the shorts a little bit later on. But if price can start giving me some lower lows and lower highs to work with, then I'll be looking for some entries off the back of retest some of these areas, and then I'll be looking to get back short. And again, the risk to reward, if this particular swing does play out, will be definitely worthwhile, because again, it will take its time, probably be like maybe a month or two to play out. But again, if you're looking at potentially 9-10R, that it's a very, very big reward on that possible trade if it does play out. Some of the positions I'm looking at, Euro Aussie as well, similar move to pound Aussie. I'm looking for a swing back to this low here as well. We might potentially pull back a little bit deeper. I'm actually hoping we do. Looking for the next low high for push back down. Dollar yen, I'm looking for some sells. At the moment, we're holding this level as support, so I need us to break back underneath. So at the moment, I'm looking for something like this, break back underneath, give me a low high, retest it. Then some shorts do look good. Something similar for euro yen as well. Looking for some shorts, but I need some bearish structure to develop, and then I'll start looking for some shorts as well. And pound yen looks good, but at the moment it's breaking above my level of resistance, which I do want price to stay underneath. So I'm looking to see if we can come back underneath, potentially give us maybe a little bit of a head and shoulder pattern, left, head and right. And then I'll be looking for my sells for pound yen, because I'm still pretty bearish across the board for the yen pairs at the moment. But nothing quite shaped up yet. The dollar pairs are still very chaotic, so I'm kind of just taking a breather on those pairs until they develop. But at the moment, we've got a few pairs on my watch list. Hopefully you can find some more trades to execute on, but just wanted to give you guys an update on the challenge. And of course, any more trades we take, we'll let you guys know. So let's see what happens. Okay guys, so it's been a while since we last spoke. Of course, due to the editing of the video, it feels like it was just a second ago, but last time we spoke was towards the beginning of January. Don't remember the exact date, but definitely towards the beginning of January. Now it is the 31st of January, so we're coming into February tomorrow, and I've just hopped into a Euro Aussie trade. I did hop into a Euro Aussie trade yesterday. I was stopped out early this morning because we had some Aussie news overnight, so I was stopped out whilst I was sleeping. Then I re-entered the trade, not the exact same position, but more or less the same idea of the trade. So I have re-entered that position, and the account balance now is $99,222. So last time we spoke, it was $99,700, but with the Euro Aussie loss, I just took this early this morning. We've lost $500 based on that trade, risking 0.5% per trade still until we get that buffer. So now we are at $99,222. This is the MT5. I did take a small Euro USD position, 0.01, just to keep the count going because I didn't trade it for, I think it was 2.5-3 weeks. So I wanted to take the trade just to keep the account active because they got that 30 day limit or something. So I did take a small Euro USD position, but it's been a slow January, not a lot of abundance in the markets for myself at the moment. Market's been very, very choppy, and we're kind of waiting for something to get the markets moving. And we do have Fed interest rate in a moment, NFP on Friday as well. So potentially could be seeing some big moves across the board this week, which is good. But as you can see, there's the small Euro USD position here. Where's the lot size there? 0.01. So I did take that to keep the account active. Last time we spoke was the pound Aussie position in there. And then I just took this Euro Aussie, which did get stopped out early this morning. But I have re-entered, as you can see up here. This is the re-entry. So you can see this was the original entry down here. I'll go through the entry in the detail and analysis in a moment. But this was the entry here. I was stopped out over there. I have re-entered. I was a little bit late to the party. I was supposed to enter on the candle closure of this candle, but the market was moving quite fast down. So I was a little bit late to the party, but I have entered there and stop loss a few pips above the high. And again, looking for the same move back down to the lows here. So if you go on to trading view, this is the analysis behind it. So essentially from a top down perspective, I'm looking for a big bearish swing for Euro Aussie back down to these lows. We've got some nice bearish structure. We've come back into some nice heights, taking out some liquidity above this high here, and I'm looking for us to essentially respect this larger area resistance on the weekly, monthly charts. I'm looking for some downside, essentially this bullish trend that we've had for the past few months now. I'm looking at that reversing to the downside, and of course jumping back to the daily, already seen some signs that is happening. Lower high 1, lower high 2, looking for a third one, essentially a swing back down to the lows there. So nothing too complicated there on the higher time frames. I've been waiting for some bearish structure to develop on the 4H before looking for entries, and again we just did that with this nice bearish structure here. If we can see that, fantastic. Some nice bearish structure the market's been creating. So essentially I'm looking to try and take advantage of another lower high for a move back down to these lows. So that's the theory, the thesis behind the trade, just looking for a retest on the area of confluence. The original position was over here. As you can see, nice entry there. The entry was fairly late yesterday in the evening. Then price did stop me out after the Aussie news. Got a re-entry signal come London session after this hourly candle did close. Entered off the back of that, stop loss a few pips above the high. And again, same target as before, looking for roughly around a 1 to 4 if price should hit targets. But we do have the Fed interest rate coming out later. So things are a little bit sketchy because we are still trading at my entry price. Again, with me being a swing trader, I'm not really adverse to news. If news is coming out, I will sit through the news. NFP Fed interest rate, I will sit through the news. However, of course, I do have things in place. I'm not taking many trades. I'm risking very small percentage of my capital. So if I was to get stopped out, even slipped a little bit as well, it's not really a big deal. But I am in the position, so we're going to see how things do move after the Fed interest rate does happen. If I'm still in the trade, things are looking good, hold that for the rest of the week, and we do have NFP as well on Friday, so I'll keep you updated with all of that. But yeah, it's been a very slow month for January. Had the pound Aussie trade earlier in the month, and now I've just hopped into Euro Aussie as well, so not a lot of positions have presented themselves. It looks like the yen pairs are starting to see some nice momentum. Euro yen pushing down. I was briefly touching upon this one last time we spoke. Now we're seeing some healthy momentum. If we can break some structure, that'd be fantastic. Possibly a nice retest of this area. If I can click that, fantastic. Nice retest of that area. I'll be more than happy to look for some sells in the pullback. Pound Aussie, I'm still keen for some selling opportunities, but we've had a really large pullback, so I need to see some momentum stepping back in again, and then I'll be keen to start shorting to the downside. But right now, not enough there for me to jump into anything. A few other pairs that I do like. Dollar Swiss, I am looking for some big sells here, but I want to see what happens with the news first. I'm also keeping an eye on some of the dollar pairs. Euro USD, seeing what will happen with Euro USD, because if we do break higher past this point here, I will be bullish on Euro, or if we do break lower, I'm looking for buys around 1.07. So there are a few pairs I'm keeping an eye on, but the only pair I'm trading, Euro Aussie, and of course I'm keeping an eye on pound CHF as well for a retest of some areas there. But I don't want to hop into a trade until I'm kind of done with the Euro Aussie position, or at least risk free, because we do have a lot of news coming out in a moment. But yeah, quick update on the challenge so far. Current balance is $99,200, so we're down roughly 0.8%. But so far managing risk well, and again, it hasn't been a great period started since we started the challenge. Had a lot of losses, had a couple winners here and there with some decent risk reward, which is why the balance is still not far from break even. So the risk reward has been very, very vital for me. But I'm going to keep looking to take the trades. Again, we're going to go through this rough period. I'm going to document everything, full transparency, so you guys will see the progression of the account here on YouTube. But yeah, let's see what happens after the news. Alright guys, so it's currently the 2nd of February, another update on how the challenge account is going. We did get stopped out for another loss on Euro Aussie. We had a trade early in the week which was taken out for a loss, and then we got back in, and that too was taken out for a loss as well. Looks like we've had a big fake move to the upside, taking out my trade, but we'll see how that develops. I'm still looking to short. This is the MT5 of the account. So the first entry was back over here on, was it Monday or Tuesday? We were taken out for a loss there, and then we entered again off the back of that candle there. Slightly late entry, but it was off the back of that bearish engulfing on the hourly chart. Then we did get taken out for a stop loss around about here. I'm not too sure why we don't have that little blue arrow up there, but we were taken out for a loss somewhere around here. But I have got into a second trade. You can probably see the profit and loss moving up and down there, which I'll explain in a moment. But I was taken out for a loss there for Euro Aussie for roughly $500. So the account balance now is $98,655. So overall down 1.3, 1.4%, something like that. I wasn't actually taken out off the back of the Fed interest rate. The Fed interest rate decision didn't really do too much to the markets. We kind of just wicked back and forth, but and then eventually, I don't think we had news. Aussie was just very, very bullish in the early hours of the morning, and that took me out of the trade. But if we go over to Euro Aussie, so this was the position shorting at that area of confluence. As you can see, big move to the upside. We're coming down pretty hard now. I'm still pretty bearish on the higher time frame, so despite that big move on the 4H, doesn't really do anything to my higher time frame buy. Still looking for another lower high to print for a move back down. So I am looking for another entry to get back into the position. At the moment, I'm not really seeing anything that kind of fits my criteria at the moment, so I'll keep an eye on it. It is Friday as well, so it'll probably be something I keep an eye on for next week. But I am still keeping an eye on some shorts, potentially just a big fake move, maybe trapping some buys at the top there, and now it seems to be selling off pretty hard. But we'll see how things develop. Still short bias, still looking for short entries. But on the other hand, I did get into some shorts on Euro Yen, looking for a move back down to 155. This was a pair that I've kept my eye on for quite a while now, since the start of the year, looking for some selling opportunities. Still, again, looking for a big right shoulder to form on the daily chart. We got left shoulder there, head, and I'm looking for a big right shoulder to see if we can come back to the lows at 155. Been keeping an eye on this one. Recently had some nice bearish structure. It was quite corrective. It did look like this could just be a continuation of that bullish move. Still could be. But we had a very strong move to the downside yesterday, the day before. which went and took out these lows just about. So now I've got a nice pullback back into a nice area of confluence, looking for another lower high. We've been very consistent with them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Looking for a fifth one as long as we can hold that confluence. Very similar entry to the Euro-Aussie trade, which did fail. So let's see if this one could work. We do have NFP in the next kind of half an hour. The time right now is just about to strike 1 p.m. We do have NFP at 1:30. So we'll see what happens off the back of that. Again, as a swing trader myself, of course, I'm definitely cautious of the news, but I've got to be taking my trades without hesitation. Of course, if it's just coming into news, or if I'm already in a position before, I might choose not to take the position. But the worst case scenario, I do get slipped. You know, I'll take the loss on the chin, but I've taken trades before, news before. And again, as a swing trader, it's difficult to completely avoid them. Day trading, different thing, but swing trading, you know, you come into news all the time. But we do have NFP coming out. We'll see what happens after that. I'll keep you guys updated, but we have jumped into another position. As we can see, the current balance is there, $98,655. Down 1.34% in the count. This is the equity curve. We've been very up and down since the start of the challenge. Few losses, a couple of winning trades, but we've been in profit, out of profit, in profit, out of profit. Quite a few losses, but we've had some decent risk reward. So again, with the risk reward in this position is a 1 to 8.94. Not too sure if I'll hold the full position. I will be trading my stop loss as we go along if price does move in my direction. So I will trade a stop loss, but if we do see this trade play out, again, this could just wipe out all the loss and put me back in profit. Potentially looking to up my position side to 1% per trade. I'm still risking 0.5. So I'll keep you up to date. We'll see what happens with the news in the next 29 minutes. But of course, giving you guys an update on the challenge. Haven't posted in a while because I haven't been very active in the market. Took one position before the two Euro-Aussie positions and this Euro-Yen position. Took one position before that this year, which was the pound Aussie. And yeah, apart from that, it's just been very dry, very stagnant in the markets. Haven't seen much opportunities, a lot of consolidation, choppy price action, nothing that looks good to me. But this week, taking 3 trades, 2 Euro-Aussie and 1 Euro-Yen. So things have been a little bit more active. And again, that's just something that will be present with the series in the future. If I'm more active in the markets, I'll be uploading more often. If I'm less active, there's less content for me to film, so of course I'll be uploading less. But we'll see how this does react to the news, and I'll update you guys today. I'll edit the video and post it today. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, let's see how NFP goes with this Euro-Yen position. Okay guys, so we've got NFP in the next 60 seconds ish. I'm in the position, as you can see here on Euro-Yen. I thought, why not? Let us document the news and see how it goes. But we've got stop loss trading there around 160, 100 ish. Of course, there's the entry. Price is now pushing into some drawdown. Still got 30 seconds ish before the news comes out, running about $120 in the minus. So we'll see how things go. Again, worst case scenario, we get slipped here, maybe extra 0.5%, so we lose 1% altogether. Not the worst thing in the world. Of course, best case scenario, price does push in that direction, but we shall see what happens. I'm pretty sure, okay, the market's starting to bounce a little bit now. Again, I don't normally watch my trades before the news comes out, way too stressful. But since I'm recording this series, I thought, why not? Let's just see what happens with price here. Again, with spread, currently see spread. I haven't got spread up here, so I can't see how much the spread is, but the news has come out about bouncing up and down, looking a little bit bullish at the moment. How's EURUSD? Wow, EURUSD is tanking right now. That is crazy. Yeah, looking bullish here. But of course, with NFP, we can go back and forth for a while before price does choose its direction. But yeah, definitely looking bullish at the moment. So we'll see what happens here. Again, worst case scenario, we get stopped out of a bit of slippage. But to be honest, the kind of worst case scenario is getting stopped out within like 4 or 5 seconds as soon as the news comes out, and at that point, you definitely got slipped big time. If it's like this and we kind of dance around a little bit, maybe pick our direction in a few minutes, then we shouldn't be slipped too bad if we do get slipped at all, if price does hit my stop loss, because we're not showing that much velocity. But of course, I don't want to speak too soon. But yeah, I mean, the market is looking tad bullish, but it hasn't really picked its direction yet. Dollar pair is looking extremely bearish. Euro USD, pound USD. Wasn't expecting that, to be honest. I was expecting them to push up. Yeah, that's why I don't trade the news, I guess. But yeah, again, I don't normally watch the news. Of course, when I'm streaming, I'll put the news up. But yeah, it's you know, when you've been trading for a while, especially swing trading, you're kind of used to it. You know, sometimes news goes your way, sometimes it doesn't go your way, and yeah, you know, as long as you've got an edge at play here, you know, you focus on the long run. Individual trades, if you try and, you know, stress about them, focus on them too much, you'll drive yourself crazy. But yeah, we've had what? It's been 2 minutes since the news has come out. It's 32 past now. How are the other yen pairs looking? Dollar yen, okay, that's pushing up because dollar is strong. But how's like Aussie yen looking? That one's trying to be bearish a little bit. Swiss yen, what are you doing? Indecisive. New Zealand yen, what are you doing? You're trying to push down. So it looks like euro is a little bit strong because other yen pairs seem to be seeing some downside. Pound yen, that one's trying to push up as well. So yeah, indecision really, but hey, with NFP you kind of get that back and forth, and then maybe after a few minutes price picks its direction and then and makes its move. But with NFP, what I've noticed as of late is we do see quite a lot of back and forth, and then potentially price could set its direction for the next potentially 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, a month, until the next NFP. We've seen a lot of that recently where price uses NFP to kind of create its next trend, its next direction. So NFP has become quite pivotal. In the past, it's been back and forth between being pivotal and being kind of just very unpivotal, so to speak, in terms of you see kind of wicks back and forth and nothing really happens with price. Sometimes we see price, you know, absolutely fly in one direction or fall. But yeah, we haven't really seen too much, to be honest. I was expecting a bit more fireworks, either see an aggressive stop loss on cam, or we see price fall in my direction quite nicely, but we haven't had neither really. I mean, it's looking a tad bullish, but price hasn't picked its direction just yet. But yeah, I mean, I don't wanna chat too long about this and keep watching the trade, because yeah, that's definitely one way to drive yourself crazy. But if I go on to trading view, let's have a look at some other pairs. Pound, yeah, it looks like dollar is seeing some strength here. Dollar's been consolidating for a while, and we've just seen a big move higher. So looks like, of course, NFP is, you know, is for dollar, but of course dollar affects everything else. So I know euro yen is not a dollar pair, but I would imagine NFP to affect every single other pair, which it normally does. But we're clearly seeing some strength here in the dollar. So again, I'm looking personally for some dollar strength back to 104.500, and then looking to short back down to sell. So that's the plan I've had for since the start of the year, really, since we came off this level. I was looking for some upside back to here. Had very, very choppy conditions, consolidation, nice pop to the upside, more consolidation. We were looking pretty bearish yesterday with what news did we have yesterday? Can't remember what news we had yesterday, but we were looking very bearish, coming back into the low of the range, but now price has rebounded that again, so it's just more back and forth with dollar pretty much. But until we start breaking out the range, so something like this, then I'll get excited for some shorts, or we push higher, then yeah, I'll get excited for some shorts. But as long as we stay in the range, I'm not interested. But how's euro yen? So yeah, currently some drawdown again, risking 0.5% on the trade per trade at the moment. But yeah, haven't really seen, well, definitely in drawdown, but haven't really seen too much movement for the yen pairs at least. Dollar, yeah, very, very weak at the moment. That's a big, big move there. And yeah, we're seeing that across the board. Yeah, New Zealand dollar dumping as well. So yeah, I mean, we'll see how this trade gets on. Again, I don't want to just chat for ages about trades. I will be posting this video today, so hi, same day you're watching it. But of course, this trade may not be done by then in terms of hitting stop loss, or of course my take profit, which is way down. So it will be to be continued, so to speak. We'll chat about this trade into the next video. But of course, I do stream every week, so I'll be chatting about my trades, why I got into trades, how I'm managing them, what's going on, what I'm thinking. So I will be chatting about this on stream. So feel free to check out my streams. I'm live every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, guys, I think we'll wrap it up there for this video. I know it's been long awaited, apologies for that, but again, I haven't been very active in the markets haven't let me, but hopefully we can pick up things with NFP, seeing some really nice movements across the board for the dollar pair. So maybe next week there could be some opportunities off the back of that. So I'll definitely keep an eye on now, do my analysis over the weekend, and make my decisions of what I'm looking to do for the market. But yeah, guys, we'll speak again on the next episode. Hopefully it won't be too long. Hopefully get some nice trade, get some content going. Of course, I'm not going to trade just to trade. If it's a good trade, I'll take the trade, but we shall see. So yeah, guys, let's hope this does push in my favor, but I'll speak to you in the next episode.